idubbz situation. Oh man.
Yesterday,
Let's see.
idubbz posted a YouTube video that's become extremely divisive. I haven't seen people this divided on a singular topic since the red and blue dress debate. The video he posted was basically an apology for the content he made in the past, apologizing for it being hurtful or damaging, and a whole myriad of other things that he wanted to come forward with, and talking about how he's changed as a person and thus his content will be changing. He goes over like insecurities of his past, and overall he just invites the audience into the back of the kitchen to see how the sausage is made and meet the chef. And for a lot of people, they didn't want to meet the chef. He's being very open and honest about his feelings on his older self and now his current mentality.
idubbz or moist?
He feels better and healthier and doesn't like what he did in the past and didn't like who he used to be. So it's a whole apology video for all of that. He releases more feelings in this video than Pandora's box, and I kind of want to go over this whole situation because I have a lot of thoughts on the topic, not only as it pertains to idubbz.
You like them 5'6" guys?
In the general creator space. There's a few things that I want to talk about here.
For a while, I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value. But I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, you know, run my channel and live my life.
I'm sorry to immediately come in here with the Phoenix Wright objection, but I completely disagree with the sentiment that it's weak or passive to change your content and expect people to see that as a reflection of yourself. That's pretty much the optimal way of handling any kind of situation in which you're not comfortable with either your audience or the content you've been making. By changing the content over time, you're changing the audience over time as well, obviously, right? The people that subscribed for your previous catalog of content might
Trailer
not stick
Park
around
Boys
for the stuff you start creating when it goes in a different direction, and that's a totally fine thing. I don't think there's anything weak about just making different content and growing individually without having to come forward and share that growth with your audience. At the end of the day, your subscribers aren't your friends. You don't know them and they don't know you. That's the brass tacks of it. Sorry to blast the cold water in your face first thing in the morning. You don't owe them an explanation for why you're changing your content. You're welcome to tell them. I think that's totally within your right to do. But I really disagree that it's weak if you don't explain why you're changing your content. You can just make different stuff and go in that direction where you're happier without ever really needing to come forward and like really lecture on why.
I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made. So that's what this video is. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel, and I've also created a culture of apathy and I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, you know, some of the videos I've made have been very not edgy. I don't think they you know, some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel.
So did he remove them?
That this is how he thinks about his old content and his old self.
His old content was amazing.
It's always a very difficult realization when you look back on, you know, the you of a few years ago disappointed. Like, I used to be 5'6", and I still am, but it sucks to realize that I was then too and have been for a long time. Point is, he wasn't happy with the content he made or the person he was, and now he's trying to apologize for the videos he made. And I, once again, have to completely disagree with the way he looks at it. I feel like his perspective on it is very warped by the way the internet has evolved over the years. The way he talks about his content makes it sound like he used to fucking murder puppies for these videos, which it was never that extreme. I very much would consider it edgy. It was 2016 edginess in all of its glory. That was entirely the brand. And for its time, it lived peacefully. You know, all four nations, water, earth, fire, air.
Wait, chat, so did he remove his old stuff, his good stuff? Or is it still up there?
Times have changed
on his channel?
He has changed. He's gotten older. He's in his 30s now.
His wife's boyfriend.
It's not exactly entertaining to just be spamming slurs for shock humor. I don't find that entertaining, and he doesn't either. So it's totally fine to want to distance yourself from making content like that. but I don't think it was a mistake that he made those videos. Like, they're not hurtful, nor do I really think they're damaging. Now, you could make an argument that they were hurtful to the people they were about, like the content cop on Tana or Leafy or any of that. You could say, like, you know, he hurt their feelings or sent harassment their way, which may have been a mental burden on them, and you could feel bad about that, I suppose. But at the end of the day, I don't think the goal of his content was ever to be hurtful or damaging. He was just trying to entertain and using edginess as shock humor, which for its time was acceptable online. Now, whether or not you think that's okay that it was ever acceptable, that's a different argument for a different day. But the point is, the point of his content wasn't to be hateful or hurtful. He really was just trying to entertain. At least that's how I and the majority of people viewed it. So I just don't think that the apology is really warranted. You can explain, like, I just don't like making that content anymore, so I won't. And be like, hey, I even regret making that content because it's kind of cringe now. That's all fine, but to think that it is this huge, massive problem, like you made an unforgivable mistake, is a little weird to me.
So I don't want people to, get it confused about, where I stand. I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it. The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons, and obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end.
You shouldn't have to apologize for criticizing someone or something. Voicing your opinion on a subject is a totally natural thing to do. I get criticized, I criticize others, people criticize movies, games, music, all of that. And to try and vilify the idea of criticism being evil, I think is a little dangerous, because then you just create these echo chambers and no one ever really grows from that. I think it's totally fine if you regret the way you criticize things, the way you approach the subjects. If you regret how you handled it, that's okay. However, I wouldn't necessarily say that you were picking apart people for lackluster things. You seem to really look back negatively on all of the content cops, but whether you like it or not, you did make good points and good arguments against people who did deserve criticism. I feel like the main pain point of those videos he used to make is the slurs in them. Like, his catchphrase was 2 slurs strung together, right?
Yeah,
like,
his
that's not exactly something to be super proud of. I get that. But to go back and say, like, all of it's shit, all of it's, bad and cruel,
I can't even say it on
going
stream,
way overboard, because it's not.
Back in my days, I remember 360.
Cool. I don't think the criticism was
One starts with an N.
But it's fine
F,
to just
the second word
regret
starts
the
with
way
an
you
N.
handled it to a certain extent without saying all the content was
N, then F.
damaging or cruel or bad.
I was morally grandstanding.
Nay, fie.
Exactly. Better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and I make a different set of mistakes than the people I was making videos on. But it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not.
I feel like there's a chance he may have been hit by a Men in Black neuralizer and had his memories rewritten of what that content actually was, because I never got the impression from those videos that he was morally grandstanding or that he was trying to pitch himself as superior to them morally. He never really tried to make himself seem like he was better than them. In fact, he would multiple times point out, like, his problems as well, and even give them advice on how they could have attacked him better in response, giving them ammo if they wanted to use against him.
Oh my god,
it all
this
seemed
emo.
very self-aware, not from like a moral grandstanding perspective, but just you
I need
were
to
lending
update my
criticism
emotes.
in a goofy way to entertain your audience, as well as provide legitimate points for why these people are doing bad things or have done bad things. For example, making a content cop on Leafy and bullying him the same way he'd bully the people in his videos, right? Like, that's not exactly the most cruel thing in the world. It's just making a point and making that point entertaining to your audience.
I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or, like, entertain. It's gotten better over the years, but it's something that I have struggled with constantly. And it's one of the reasons why I, kept making this hurtful content. You do interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing.
Now, this subject right here is something that extends beyond the idubbz situation. It's the insecurity, especially with a creator who's found a lot of success with one branch of content, that fearfulness to try other things because you don't know how to be perceived and you're a little worried about your ability to even deliver something that's not the norm that your audience is used to. That's a very honest look into that mentality, and you see it all the time on the platform with people that have found success in one niche and they never leave it. And that's because there's always that fear that if you do, you'll lose your audience or you'll just not be good at it. So most people live in the exact same style of content forever. And that's how I was for like the first 8 or 9 years of this channel, doing nothing but gameplay and commentary videos, spouting the word nipple and titty and cum as much as I possibly could within the first 2 minutes and throughout the rest of the video. But eventually, you do take a risk, and you try other things, and I always think that's the most fulfilling thing a creator can do, which is branch out from their niche. At least to try it, dip your toes in the deep end of that pool and give it a whirl.
I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos, and I justified it because, I didn't think it was too serious. And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, but that's so silly, Casual racism is still racism. Casual bigotry is still bigotry. And, I said a lot of things that I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is...
We just need Filthy Frank to come back.
That's what we need. I completely understand. That is totally normal to look back on that and cringe, right? In your 30s and really any age over 16, you're not exactly going to be getting a hearty ho 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 belly laugh just hearing a bunch of slurs being spammed. Real life isn't Call of Duty lobbies. I don't think many people in the real world are going to be like laughing and fist pumping hearing you just shout slurs as comedy. So that makes sense to look back on that and cringe. However, none of your videos came from a place of hate. At least I don't think so. I don't think you were ever a racist or a bigot or anything like that. You used those words for shock humor. That was the whole goal, the edgy shock humor of using those words. And you made it pretty clear that that was kind of your drive. And he does mention it in this video with the it's either all okay or none of it's okay mentality. But I really think most people were able to recognize that the things he was saying weren't coming from a place of legitimate hate. Now, you can of course still say that it's unacceptable that he was using slurs for shock humor and punchlines in his videos for the jokes. That's a totally fair perspective to have. But it's still, I think, a little ridiculous to make it seem like it was this big of a deal that it warranted a whole apology video in which he makes it seem like he'll never truly find forgiveness and he'll never forgive himself for it, for saying the slurs in the videos and making the content he did. Because again, like, he's talking about it like he's a fucking reformed racist, like he was actually a racist and now he's not, when I don't think that was the case. He was an edgelord.
Pink guy, we
and
need him.
That's it. I feel like this whole video could have just been summed up very easily like, hey guys, it was fucking 2016. I was edgy, and now I think it's cringy, so I don't want to do that anymore, and we're closing the book. That we're shutting that chapter down, putting the kibosh on it. Now we're doing some other stuff. And that would have been a totally fine explanation. A lot of people would have still disappointed, of course, in his audience that liked that content. But at the end of the day,
he was the inspiration. Like he was one of the inspirations behind my username.
Make what makes you happiest to create. Like, I don't think you should have felt obligated to make this
He's also
video.
white
Like,
and
I
Asian,
don't think
like me.
This situation was so damaging that it warranted this kind of, like, fucking presidential press conference here over it and apologizing for the content you made back then. I don't think, like, you ruined lives because you made content copy. I don't think you made an entire generation of racists and bigots because you used slurs for shock humor. I think that's a very bastardized perspective of how people digest content online. Now, I have no doubt that his audience did cultivate some weirdo losers that probably were real racists somewhere in there that didn't really care about his message and just liked that he was saying the N-word. I have no doubt that that existed in his community. But I don't think that was his goal, and there's always going to be weirdo losers. Of course, you can do your best to mitigate those people from feeling welcome in your community, but that all starts with just changing the content over time. Again, that's not a weak thing to do. That is not a weak or passive approach. The vilifying of your own audience and your previous content, I don't think is the right way of even looking at the content you used to make or the audience that you had. Of course, there were bad actors in there, but not everyone was, and to make them feel like they were if they liked your content is a little weird, and I don't think that's the goal of this video by any means, but it does come across that way. Like, you weren't a bad person if you were laughing at his content cops or anything like that, and I don't think he was a bad person for making those content cops in the first place.
I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life with, and I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years, and I've made a successful career out of it, and that's not right. I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach.
What's the ratio on this?
A life
Let's see the ratio on this.
I would think would be like acceptable.
You don't deserve to be fucking publicly flogged with tomatoes thrown at you for the rest of your life and skinned alive because you made edgy videos in 2016, man. It's just not that big of a deal. It feels horrible hearing this from him, knowing that it weighs so heavily
120
on his mind that he made
thumbs
these
up,
videos,
71
so
thumbs
he feels
down.
like he's a real piece of shit for doing it. You just made edgy YouTube videos. You didn't ruin anybody's life.
I never would have
You
guessed that
didn't
his final
create,
content cop would be on himself.
You know, a fucking army of racists and bigots. The content itself isn't bigoted content either. You used edgy shock humor, and I don't think that makes you a bigot that you're going to have to atone for those sins for the rest of your life over.
I am running ads on this video, and any
Hell yeah.
revenue generated from this video, I'm going to match and donate to an organization that, you know, would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric.
Oh, I saw something about this on Twitter.
And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start.
You'll get no complaints from me here. I'm always on the side of helping people, so anything charitable, I'm always for. Though I don't think it was necessary or anything, I still think that's a nice gesture regardless. But he uses the word rhetoric here. And that again makes it sound like these videos were coming from like a legitimate racist, which I don't think they were. I really don't. At least I don't want to believe that idubbz used to be a racist and he was using that to try and, you know, propel his beliefs forward. He really it seems like he was really just using these words as shock humor.
Cock life.
Which is cringy, sure. Very cringy, and that is absolutely fine to point out. But it just, it doesn't strike me as something that was genuinely ruining people's lives hearing that kind of shit. It's just kind of like an eye-rolling thing to look back on now, like, ugh, that's fucking lame. And that's really it. I just don't think it goes too much deeper than that. Like I said, I have no doubt there really were some dangerous weirdos that did hold dangerous beliefs in his community. But I don't think he made them. I think they were there when they found his content.
Sam can rise.
Stuck around because they just like hearing edgy words
That's
spoken
funny.
out loud. That's it. I don't think.
All right,
he
enough of
made
this.
them. He wasn't the Frankenstein to their monster. Now, I don't want to just keep dissecting every single piece of the video here. I want to kind of branch this out into a broader talking.
I don't care.
Pink eye! Pink eye! Where are you?
Hey boss.
Oh, there you are.
Hey boss, I have a cancer.
Have a cancer, boss. The links are for me, guys. You don't need to click them. Because I'm sharing them off another computer.
Hey boss, fuck you, man.
The hell is that?
Hey boss, 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 hey boss. Can I have a pussy, please?
Pink eye! Pink eye! Where the hell are you? Pink eye!
Hey boss. Can I have a pussy?
Oh my god. Being too edgy can be. Alrighty. This was what I wanted to. This is the old idubbz. Dude, I think all the creators, maybe Max Mofo is still mostly the same. I think all the people involved in this now want to distance themselves from this after they did it.
Max Mofo here, I got idubbz. We're gonna make another cake today, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Hey, what's good, man? It's just your boy Filthy Frank. The three of us love cooking all kinds of shit.
I don't know if I can show this.
Cupcakes, gourmet meals.
Me use the restroom really quick. I'll leave y'all with this.
What are you, fucking gay?
What are you, gay?
You're fucking weird, dude. Anyway, we're gonna fucking make a cake. Oh, hell fuck yeah. Cheers.
Fucking has 4 glass Coke bottles and he does push-ups.
My man, How Too Basic is also a chef. That's icing, you stupid piece of shit. That's for later. Okay. Oh, this guy's.
Somewhere.
Hell yeah.
That's it right there.
No! That's what you get for kissing me, you fucking gay. Who fucking dropped the hair in there? Fuck. That's fucking disgusting, dude. Is this your shit?
That's pretty good.
Man, your hair tastes good, dude. Holy shit. We can make the best cake ever. Grab his arms, Max. You have a talent. No, you have a talent. You have a talent. Yeah, boy. I'm sorry this has to happen. Oh, yeah, boy.
Black, huh?
Ah, yes. Thanks for buttering him up, pal. Yo, give him a slap, boy. Holy shit. That's fucking
I have cancer.
What do you think, boys? Just wait. I think we need to add a little bit. Hey.
Come on, mate, I'm making a spicy hot pizza.
I know everyone's gag reflexes all responded to this at the same time.
Yeah.
Doomus. Hey, that's pretty good. I just ate.
Good stuff.
What the fuck? No, I don't want to reverse reverse my burrito.
Thank you.
I'm not fucking doing this, dude.
Oh, come on.
It's very hard to swallow, dude.
Moment here, stream elements.
The texture's pretty good.
What's up, Carnage? Some Zelda gameplay.
Dude, it looks like you have cancer or something, idubbz.
I still quote this video.
It's funny.
Like, dude, you have fucking cancer, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
You have fucking cancer, dude.
Yo, idubbz, check this shit out.
Oh, I'll check it out in a second.
Dude, what the fuck?
Just a minute, guys.
Yo, it's fine. Dude, just come check it out. What the? idubbz, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Seriously.
I'm good.
Hey, dude, fuck.
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go check out this cake. Cake.
All right, man.
Bald meat.
Oh,
So you like
It
mullets or
smelled pretty
baldness?
good, but now it's smelling a bit like.
Was he a fucking cancer?
Fucking cancer? This dude. God, one of them threw up.
Dude, that's not okay. That's actually
You listen closely. You can hear Filthy Frank break character. Listen to his voice. It's Joji. That's Joji's voice. Listen. He breaks character.
dude, that's not okay. That's actually really fucked. Fuck, God, dude, I'm not.
Yeah, no,
That's Filthy Frank. He breaks character. It's so bad.
Ew, dude!
Gotta favorite it before it gets removed again.
yes. Another day of hard work, huh?
What No Boundaries does.
Today we made a
vile.
nice cake, a real gourmet cake, and our friend, our waiter, idubbz is he's I don't know where he's a little confused right now. He's feeling a little sick, a little weak.
Burnt hair stinks, man.
Where's that cake? Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. Dude, are you okay?
Cancer.
Thanks for decorating the cake for all of us, and we're gonna try some shit now.
All the cigarettes they're smoking.
Fucking Christ, dude. Where's that knife? Let's cut the cake.
When they open it, oh my god. That scene just like you're gonna die. Look.
Oh, for fuck! Jesus Christ!
Oh.
What the fuck is that? Yo! Oh, I thought that would cook, like burn. That's so fucking disgusting.
That's pretty bad.
Oh.
You know when you get like a nice tan olive skin lady to spread her cheeks. There's one for you, and there's here's the chef. To chef. Singing.
Have you ever seen a chef?
No, seriously, I would rather eat vomit cake, dude.
Oh yeah, they did vomit cake. Have you guys seen that one?
Chef?
I'm trying my hardest to swallow it. I'm sucking the batter back and that's going down, but the hair clumps stay in my mouth.
Like you're not supposed to consume hair. That's like your body.
It's humanly impossible to get the huge clump of hair down your throat. Your body rejects it so bad.
Your body rejects hair. Like you're not supposed to eat hair. Oh. Alright, Zelda gameplay. Yeah. Zelda gameplay.